He was giving me some things to say out there, and I said, oh, I'll add Humble to the list. So I know that I learned a lot yesterday just walking around, giving him a tour of the show. One thing he said to me, he said, I don't know fear. And then he went on to talk about something else. I said, whoa, wait right there. I want to process that. I don't know fear. And I looked at him, and it was true, totally true. So breathe that in, everybody. I do not know fear. Can you breathe that in and accept that? All right, put your hands together and welcome for the second time, Dr. Coldwell.
Thank you, Julia. Again, thank you very much. Again, if you have cancer, you don't have to die. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have been brainwashed to believe that outside forces determine our destiny, determine our health, determine our life. And that's not true. The only human being that determines your health and your life is you. Cancer is not genetic, 100% not genetic. Every cancer is curable in 2 weeks to 16 weeks if you don't get into the hands of the medical profession. If they start cutting you, you all of a sudden have an extremely fast-growing and aggressive cancer. I wonder why. It wasn't fast-growing and aggressive before. They start cutting you. Chemotherapy causes cancer. It's a leftover of the First and Second World War, mustard gas and other toxic gases that were used to kill soldiers on the battlefield. It's really good in your bloodstream, though. And then, radiation. The healthiest thing ever. So everybody wants really to live next to a nuclear reactor, and every morning you say, if I don't have energy, I put my fingers in and bzzz, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please go back to common sense? That's all we originally need, is to go back to common sense and to use our instinct again. So if you have cancer, it's a bad news. You screwed yourself up. And the good news is, you can repair what you messed up just by yourself. As long as you don't believe you need anybody else to cure you, because then it's over. If you go to somebody and say, cure me, fix me, heal me, you're as good as dead. And they get richer and richer and richer. Cancer is the biggest, largest industry, financial industry, after oil. It's the biggest money maker for the medical profession. And the criminal with the name of John D. Rockefeller caused it all. This greedy guy produced a couple of chemicals, and he needed salespeople. And he invented his salespeople and called them MD, for medical doctor. Because he wrote all the educational material for the universities to teach medical doctors. And only by coincidence, the only cures in this material were the chemicals that John D. Rockefeller produced. Just by coincidence, of course. We are all born with cancer. You are born, and then there are some half-dead cells, mutated cells, atrophied cells, used up cells that are going to be replaced by new and good and healthy cells. From the very first day you are born, your body eliminates cancer. Cancer is not even an illness. It's just a malfunction based on lack of energy. You cannot get sick without lack of energy. It's absolutely impossible. You will never see somebody getting the flu or the cold that is motivated, upbeat, happy. No, you have to be run down, tired, and worn out to even get sick at the first place. So if the body is used to cure cancer from day one, then the question is, if the body stops doing it, why? Why did the body stop? Why did our immune system stop doing its work? And the answer is very, very simple. You don't have enough energy. Lack of energy is the absolute only cause of illness. Absolute only cause. And now here is the main information for this day and for this hour. Science proves that 86% of all illness, 86% of all doctor visits are stress-related. 86% of all illness are stress-related. The Stanford University conducted a study and even came to the conclusion and said 95% of all illness is stress-related. But let's stay with the 86% to give you a little bit more leeway. So that leaves only 14% for diet, behavioral pattern, and stupidity. So you have to work really, really, really hard to make yourself sick. 1 to 7 billion liver cells renew each second. You have every 6 weeks a brand new liver. The people that love whiskey really like that information. You have every 8 weeks new kidneys, every 8 months new lungs, every 4 weeks new skin. So why in the world would you carry on the bad cells? So what happened to these 24% of all people that get cancer, do nothing, and all of a sudden are cured forever? What happened to them? They just got their energy level back. They just were in a hole. Something bad happened, and their body reacted. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you just simply need to understand. There are people out there, a lot of friends of mine out there, saying with the right diet you can cure cancer. You can't. With the right supplement you can cure cancer. You can't. Of course, you get vitamin C injections intravenously, 100 cc's, 3 times a day. In 2 weeks you don't have tumors anymore. Or aloe vera injections IV. Or you take vitamin B17, Leonard, and the tumors disappear. You take Essiac tea or Essiac capsules, oleander tea, oleander soup, and it disappears. But it will come back because you never address the root cause of your lack of energy that caused the deformation in your system at the first place. And that's why I'm so upset, even with my good friends that I love and their opinion I love, and everything they say about diet and nutrition is right. But the second they say a good diet and good nutrition and good supplements cure cancer, I'm getting really, really upset because it doesn't. Absolutely not. Every cell in your system that's going to be built is going to be built from the material you have, you give your body into your body due to diet. You need a gallon of water a day with half a teaspoon of sea salt in it, otherwise you are always in trouble. Because the body is mainly built from water. And it's like a river that is stuck. If you have a river that's flowing and you dump dirt in it, the river is cleansing itself all the time. But if the river is stuck just for 3 days, everything in it is rotten. And that's how you create acidosis and toxemia, the basic physical element of cancer. Otto Warburg and Max Planck both got a Nobel Prize in medicine by proving that cancer cannot exist in an alkaline, oxygen-rich environment. So he knows it since 1936. So why is nobody applying it? You know what the law is in America? A medical doctor, even if he knows better, has to apply surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation to a cancer patient, or he loses his license and may go to jail. So even if they know better, they can cure you. There are 300 known natural cancer cures out there that are known. And these cancer cures usually have absolutely no side effects, and many of them an absolute high cure rate. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to educate yourself. And I will tell you why. I will tell you it's not my 8 doctoral degrees that I have that qualify me to stay here. It's not 14 best-selling books. It's not 35,000 cured patients. It's not 2.2 million seminar attendees. It's not 7 million readers. If not everything I've done, it is something else. When I was 7 years old, I knew my mom only crying from pain. Crying from pain that she couldn't bear anymore. Because she had gallbladder stones, over 160 stones. And the gallbladder was ready to burst. So they did an emergency surgery, which they messed up. They gave her blood, and with that blood they gave her hepatitis C. The hepatitis C turned into liver cirrhosis. The liver cirrhosis turned into liver cancer in a terminal state. And when I was 12 years old, they told my mom she has a maximum of 6 months to 2 years to live. She should learn to live with the pain. And she should do the best or make the best out of the couple of weeks or months she has left. There's nothing they can do. Nobody ever got cured from liver cancer in a terminal state. There's no treatment, and there's no help. I know my mom only crying from pain and the emergency doctor coming twice a day, shooting morphine into her so that she could cry a little bit less. We're not talking about stopping here. My physical father just left because he said he doesn't want a sick wife. The born rebel that I am, I said, we're not going to take this laying down. So I started to read every book a 12-year-old could understand about health. I started to talk about people, with people that were sick and got healthy again. Everybody that was willing to talk to a teenager, I talked to. I learned about herbology, I learned about teas, I learned about nutrition, I learned about hypnotherapy, I learned about acupressure, and every single thing I learned, I tried on my mom. Our 86-year-old semi-retired family doctor sat down with me and explained to me the relationships with health and illness. And we tried everything. Later, I worked before school in subway-like situations, and they cleaned restaurants. And after school, the same, to support me and my mom financially because we had nothing to eat. From the little bit more money I made, I started to visit workshops and applied everything I could to my mom. And 1 year and the next year and the next year went on, and my mom was still alive. She got a little bit better. She wasn't cured. And every day when I came back from school, the very first thing I did, I opened up the bedroom door to see if my mom is still alive. And all day long in school, the only thought I had from the minute I arrived till the minute I left is, my mom still alive when I come home. To make a very long story very short, my mom today is 74 years old and one of the healthiest people you will ever meet in your life. Thank you. But let me tell you about genetic cancers. All 7 siblings of my mom had cancer. My father died of cancer. My grandmother died of cancer. My stepfather died of cancer. There is nobody out there in this world that will ever know even 1% about cancer and the effects on the patient and the family members that I know. Nobody. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you why I'm here and why I'm here today. My grandmother brought 8 children as a refugee through the Second World War. My grandmother was an emergency nurse and a midwife and spent her retirement time taking care of mentally handicapped children for free. This strong woman, strongest woman I ever met in my life, had a cancerous lymph nodes in her breast for 28 years. It didn't grow. It didn't hurt. It didn't do anything. Until a young doctor talked my grandmother into surgery. After that surgery, my grandmother started dying the most horrible death you can even imagine over a period of 2 years. From the chemotherapy, her skin was broken open and it oozed out. When you went into the hospital room, your tears were running from the chemotherapy that was in the room. You couldn't even breathe in there. That was my grandmother. When she died, her arm was so big that it didn't fit in the casket anymore. And when my grandmother died, and my mom and I stood next to her, and we said to the doctor, "What happened?" And he said, "We did not think it would happen that fast." And I turned around and I said, "You knew it's going to happen?" And he said, "Of course. If we take that many lymph nodes out and we do all of this, chemotherapy and radiation, of course it will turn out like this. We just didn't think it would happen that fast." And I said, "You knew this and you did this to my grandmother?" And he said, "We had to take the chance." Screw you. And that is why I'm here today, to prevent each and every one of you guys from the same mistakes, from the same errors. They killed my grandfather, who came back from a Nazi concentration camp because he wasn't willing to kill his Jewish neighbors, so they put him in a concentration camp. It was the American soldiers that saved him. And he was a coal miner, and he had a black lung. So he had all kind of breathing problems all his life. One day they put him in a hospital just for observations. They didn't really have time for him, so they put him in a bathroom that was not heated in the winter time in Germany, where it's really, really cold in the winter. And they forgot about him for 2 days. And of course, he was dead when they found him. So I have a slight problem with the medical profession. So the medical profession has a cancer cure rate of 2%, so that's what Dr. Simoncini, the oncologist and great cancer healer in Rome, Italy, says. I have a cancer cure rate that 2 independent studies conducted of 92.3%. Whoa, who do you want to listen to? Cancer is not such a big thing. Every illness and every cancer is curable. Not every person is curable, because there are not enough people out there that are not willing to do what it takes. The other ones was a self-pity party. They really like their illness. All of a sudden they have all this attention. Poor me. Why did God this to me? Why did God do this to me? Who else do you suggest he should do it to? It will not, Yeah, Rockefeller, that's a good time, that's a good one. So ladies and gentlemen, when you now know there's no cell in your system that's older than 2 years, when you know cancer can only grow in an environment of acidosis and lack of oxygen, is this rocket science or am I just completely off here? So everything that's green has chlorophyll. Every leafy green, even parsley, a lot of calcium, a lot of chlorophyll. If you just juice green stuff, yeah, pinch him. He needs it. He doesn't drink it, huh? Uh-huh. Going to talk to you later. But if you just start juicing and you start cleansing your system, you start simple with a carrot, apple, celery juice in the morning, 1/3 each. You get really good diarrhea. So sign it works. So the biggest investment you can make is a juicer. I personally use the Jack LaLanne. It's the easiest to clean, the cheapest, and it really works well. And ladies and gentlemen, exercise is really overrated. I don't believe in exercise at all. If you walk 20 minutes a day, you're absolutely fine. If you're like me and you have a horse, doing the walking for you is even cooler. But most of all, you have to take responsibility. You messed it up, so fix it. Buy my book, 1999. The only answer to cancer. You know what? It was sold out in the first edition in 4 days. The second edition was sold out in 11 days. The third edition was sold out a month later. It came out in January, and we are now in the 4th edition. That's how open people are now for help to self-help. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people always say, oh, Dr. Coldwell cured me. Dr. Coldwell cured all these patients. No, I haven't cured anybody in my life. I can't. But I can educate you, help you, hug you, yell at you, kick your butt if necessary. So that you finally get moving. And you get out of this self-pity party. Because it doesn't make it better. And then there are these people with this past thing. Oh, I had such a bad past. Who doesn't? I mean, guys, turn around. Everywhere you look, it's bad stuff. So you need to make it better. Then there's this idiot Freud. Freud and Jung and all these loony guys. First of all, they caused all these suicides. The people jumped out of the windows like crazy. Go to psychotherapy and learn flying. It doesn't help you to talk about the bad stuff in the past. Out of 2 reasons. Scientifically, your brain cannot make a distinction between reality or if you just think about things. So every time you talk about what this icky guy, that stupid girl did to you, it happens to you again. And that's where the problem starts. You repeat it all the time. You learn in psychotherapy how to talk about it easier. So they say, see, no, she can just talk about how he beat the shit out of her. Oh, that really helps. So, okay, here is my version of psychotherapy. Normally, psychotherapy takes 15 years, and if you have the money, 25 years. And the cure rate is 0. You just pay an idiot to listen to you because your buddies and friends already stopped long time ago. So here's my version of chemotherapy. Early Alzheimer's. Here is my version of psychotherapy. Get over it and move on. And that's the end of it. So if somebody comes, you know these typical energy drainers, "Hey, yeah, you know what happened to me. Well, he did it again. And did you do what I told you last time to change it? No, I didn't." So if you have these energy drainers, these bad people that suck out your energy like vampires, you put your hand in their face and say, "Bad seed, bad seed." And they leave you alone. They do. And now, ladies and gentlemen, what is really, really important to understand. No matter how you came in here, you were laughing and you're having fun. You did more for immune system and healing in the last 5 minutes than you probably did the last 2 years together. It all starts with fun. Let's have a party. It starts with loving yourself. You know, guys, what the only cause of cancer is? Mental and emotional stress. There's no other cause for cancer. Absolutely not. Nothing else can drain your energy level that much that your immune system stops to get rid of these mutated and atrophied cells. Because your immune system is trained for it from day one. What does it mean? Mental and emotional stress means living in constant worries, doubts, and fears. Oh, what will happen? I have this garden party in 4 weeks. What happened if it rains? And so what? Get prepared and go on. Stop worrying. It doesn't change anything. It just makes the bad stuff more likely to be attracted. Lack of self-love. Tomorrow morning, when the opportunity clock is ringing, negative people call it the alarm clock. So when the opportunity clock is ringing, you jump out of the bed and says, "Yeah! I'm alive!" And then you march towards the bathroom. And you look into the mirror and you say, "Wow!" And not, "Oh God." Two things happen. You're really, really awake, and your entire family will talk about you all week long. But it all starts with energy. It all starts at the beginning. The way you start your day determines your day. You get up and the opportunity clock rings and you say, "Oh, 5 more minutes, please. I'm so tired." That's how your day will be. So not loving yourself? Who the heck do you want to love if you don't love yourself? Who can love you if you don't love yourself? Nobody. You know how great you are? The mathematical chance that somebody will be born like you again is 1 to 50 billion. That's how unique you are. You're the only human being that can use your uniqueness, your personal potential, your possibilities, your ideas, have your dreams, and work on the realization of your dreams. So, start working on your dreams. Start recognizing. If you put all your blood vessels together, you can circle with it twice around the earth. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a brand new liver every 6 weeks, a brand new body every 2 years. You are designed in perfection. And that is what you have to recognize. You are born to be a winner. You are born to be healthy. You are born to be a champion. You are not born to barely survive. like a Mr. Obama wants you to. Whereas it starts with taking responsibility. It starts with accepting yourself the way you are, because there's nothing you can do about to change it. If you're too small, you're screwed. Live with it. You know, if you're too blonde, just smile a lot. Whatever is going on, it's okay. All of the 2.2 million seminar attendees that I had in my life will tell you I love and respect every single one the way he or she is. I never tried to change the patient. And the only way I cured a patient was to teach them to accept themselves, to believe in themselves, to love themselves, and do nothing else than realizing their own goals, their own dreams, their own personality, and not doing what other people think they should do, or other people tell them what they think they should do. That's where cancer starts. You know, the biggest cause of cancer is making a compromise against yourself, against who you really are, hanging on to a job that kills you in the whole meaning of the word, sticking with a relationship that, even if you think about it, you know, all marriage counselors should be in jail. If it's broken, open the door and say, next! Don't hang on. Just don't. It will kill you. It will simply kill you. You are unique, you are wonderful, and you have the right, and you have the duty to be and live who you truly are. And that, very simply, is a cure for cancer. Believe it or not. It's that simple. Of course, thank you very much. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you need a healthy diet. You need to buy a couple of supplements for my buddy so that they make some money because they need to live too. You know? For me, it's different. I don't need your money. I take your money, but I don't need your money. But, friends, life is not that complicated. Can you please start using common sense again? And start listening to your instincts? Didn't you know how often you said, I knew it's not going to work? So why the heck did you even do it? If you knew up front it will not work. You do this all the time, huh? We need to look into the inside and we need to understand and accept who we are. Believe me, guys, you are great. You might have messed up yourself a lot. You just need to get back to your roots, to who you truly are. Is it such a bad thing? You know, I'm a wild hugger. You know, if you come closer than 2 feet, you're in danger. Is it so bad to hug a friend or somebody you love and say, you're going to make it? Just hang in there. I'm there with you. I'm there for you. Is it so bad to say I love you? Ladies and gentlemen, is it so bad to say I love myself? Just in your mind, you don't need to say it, just think, I love myself. How does it make you feel? And you will understand what I'm talking about. Because we are all energy beings, we are all emotional beings. At the end of the day, all we want is to just feel good, feel loved. That's all we want. Be happy. You can only be happy if you are you. And not try to be somebody else. Find out what your goals are. Buy my super brand new book. It's coming out in 4 weeks. The only answer to stress, anxiety, and depression. It's a goal-setting workshop. In there, I will teach you how to find your true goals. But there are so many good ones out there from a lot of good speakers and a lot of good books. Go to my website, instinctbasedmedicine.com or drleonardcoldwell.com. All the information you need is on there for free. My YouTube videos, The Only Answer to Cancer, are now on 4 million different websites. We cannot even count how many views there are. My radio show started in January, and it's the most successful radio show on the web of all times. Because people are ready. You are not alone. Guys, just stick together. Believe in each other. Believe in friendship again. Believe in family again, because alone we are nothing. We are absolutely nothing alone. What does it help you if you have all the money in the world and you're just by yourself on an island somewhere? It doesn't. We need to start connecting again. And we see it more and more like in events like this, where people come together that are like-minded, like-spirited. You know, exchanged addresses, exchanged phone numbers. Talk to each other. Keep each other going. You know, there's a Healthaholics Anonymous. Hey, buddy. I'm Leonard, and I'm a healthaholic. Ladies and gentlemen, that was for you, Dr. Leonard Coldwell. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much, guys. We are going to have a panel, I think it's on 201, where my friend the Health Ranger and a lot of good people are over there in 5 minutes having a great panel. I think it's 201. Thank you so much for coming.